Assalamu alaikum. This is Mohammad Kalim Khan, faculty member, Faculty of Management Sciences, ILMA University. Today it is our lecture number 3 of Principles of Accounting. In this lecture, we'll talk about preparation of cash book. Outline for the lecture is brief explanation of cash book, discount columns and their key points, format of a cash book, format of a 3-column cash book, hints for record keeping in the 3-column cash book, balancing the cash book, posting 3-column cash book to the ledger accounts, and very important, a solved example. Okay, let's define what is a cash book. A 3-column cash book, also known as a triple-column cash book, contains 3 money columns on both debit and credit side. One on each side for recording cash transactions, bank transactions, and discount transactions. If a business holds a bank account, frequently makes receipt and payment through that bank account, then it is useful to maintain a 3-column cash book rather than a single or double-column cash book. It is compulsory for business to allow discounts for early payments. For example, if cash is paid early, creditor may receive a discount. On the other hand, if debtor pay early, a discount may be allowed to them. You may remember that cash and discounts are closely related. This is the reason why discount columns are also provided in the cash book. In a 3-column cash book, 3 columns are provided for the amounts each side. One column record cash receipts and payment, the second column record banking transactions, and the third column records discount received and allowed. Although single and double column cash books are also alternative to the cash account, the 3-column cash book serves the purpose of cash as well as bank account of your business. Moving to the next part of the lecture, that is the detail of column discounts. The discount allowed is a column is located on the debit side and the discount received column is located on the credit side of a cash book. The discount allowed and discount received columns represent two different accounts. They are not related. The discount columns are memorandum columns in nature. Therefore, two separate accounts, discount allowed and discount received, are opened in the ledger. Since discount allowed and discount received are unrelated, they are not balanced. Both columns are summed separately and the aggregate is transferred to the ledger account. Here you can see the format of a 3-column cash book. It has two sides, debit side and credit side. On the debit side, the first column is of date column. We mentioned date here. After that, description column, voucher number, posting reference, discount column. This is also called sale discount, cash column and bank column for recording bank receipts transactions. Similarly, it has a credit side. On the credit side, there is a column. The first column is date column. We mentioned date here of the transactions, description. We write account titles here, voucher number, posting reference, discount column. Discount column is also called purchase discount, cash column where we record cash payment transactions, and bank column where we record bank transactions relating to bank payments. Now moving forward, hints for record keeping in the 3-column cash book. We'll discuss how to write opening balance. receipts and of check and cash transactions, payment by check or cash transactions, and bank charges. If you are ever recording entries in the 3-column cash book, this section represents a few key points you should bear in mind. The first one is opening balance. The opening balance of cash book, cash in hand and cash at bank are recorded on the debit side in the cash book in the bank column and cash column respectively. If the bank balance is a credit balance, that is overdraft balance, then it is entered on the credit side of the bank column. Number 2, receipts of check and cash. If a check is received and deposited into the bank account on the same date, it will appear on the debit side on the cash book in the bank column. If the check is not deposited into the bank on the same date, it is treated as cash. Therefore, the amount will appear on the cash column. Finally, in the usual manner, the receipt of cash is recorded on the cash column. Payment by check or cash transactions. If a payment is made by check, it will be recorded on the credit side in the bank column. This is because the cash at bank are decreased. If the payment is made in cash, it will be recorded in the cash column in the usual manner. Now turning to the bank charges. Bank charges are recorded on the credit side of the cash book in the bank column. This is because cash at bank decreases as a result of such transactions. Now very important, contra entries. If an entry is made on the debit side and the same entry is recorded on the credit side of a cash book, it is called contra entry. To differentiate contra entries from other entries, letter C is printed in the posting reference column on both the debit and credit side of the cash book. The letter C indicates that contra effect of this transaction is recorded on the opposite side. Contra entries may be one of the following types. Type number 1. When cash is deposited into a bank, 2 entries are recorded. One on the credit side, yani payment side, which records the reduction in cash in hand, and the other on the debit side, means receipt side in the bank column, which records the increase in cash at bank. If we make type 1 a journal entry will be bank debit and cash credit. Type 2. When cash is withdrawn from bank for office use, 2 entries are needed. One on the credit side in the bank column, which records the reduction of cash at bank, and the other on the debit side in the cash column, which records the increase in cash in hand. The journal entry for this type of contra entry will be cash debit and bank credit. Type 3. It has already been explained that when a check is received and not deposited into a bank on the same date, the amount will be recorded on the debit side of the cash book in the cash column. When the same check is deposited into the bank account on another date, 2 entries are required. One on the debit side in the cash book column, bank column, which records the increase in the amount of bank, and the other on the credit side in the cash column, which records the cash means check paid into the bank. If we look to the journal entry of this type of transaction, journal entry will be bank debit and cash credit. After recording the transactions in the cash book, balancing is done after every period. This period may be of 1 month or half month. Balancing procedure. Whenever it is necessary to determine the bank balance, the bank columns are summed on the both sides. If the debit column is larger than the credit column, the difference represents cash at bank. If on the other hand, The credit columns exceed the debit column. The difference represents overdraft or overdrawn balances. A bank account may have a overdrawn balance because by arranging an overdraft with the bank, it is possible that more money may be withdrawn from the bank than what was deposited. The cash columns are balanced as usual. The discount columns are simply summed and not balanced. It is important that discount columns should not be balanced. They are only summed. An overview procedure will be given on the last slide, at the last of this lecture. Now moving forward to the posting in a 3-column cash book to ledger account. The method of posting a 3-column cash book into ledger is as follows. Number 1, the opening balances of the cash book are not posted. Number 2, contra entries are not posted because the double entry accounting of these transactions is completed within the cash book. Number 3, an item on the debit side of the cash book are posted on the credit of respective account in the ledger. An item on the credit side of the cash book are posted to the debit of respective account in the ledger. The total of discount columns on the debit side is posted on to the debit of discount allowed account, and the total of discount column on the credit side is posted to the credit of discount received account in the ledger. Now moving forward, treatment of some transactions in the 3-column cash book. And these transactions are: number 1, dishonored check. When customer's check returned by the bank, it is recorded on the payment side of the bank in the bank column. Number next, check received but not deposited into the bank. It is recorded on the receipt side cash column because it is treated as cash until it is deposited into the bank. It decreases the cash on hand, not cash at bank. Overdraft balance of bank account. Overdraft balance of bank account is negative balance of bank. It is recorded on the payment side of in bank column of cash book as a liability. Check received in full settlement of account, in full settlement and deposited into the bank. When check received in full settlement of account, customer's account, it shows the discount allowed to customer. The amount of check received is recorded on receipt side in bank column, and amount of discount is recorded on sale discount column of receiving side. Issued check in full settlement. When check is issued in full settlement, it indicates the discount received from supplier. The amount of check issued is recorded on payment side in bank column, and discount amount is recorded on purchase discount column, definitely on payment side. Depositing cash or check into the bank. It is treated as contra entry and recorded on both sides, means receipt side and payment side of a cash book. It increases the bank account and reduces the cash on hand. It is recorded on payment side cash column and receipt side bank column of cash book. Withdraw cash from bank for office use. This is also contra entry and recorded on both sides of cash book. It reduces the bank account and increases the cash on hand. It is recorded on payment side in bank column and receipt side in cash column of cash book. Payment of expenses or purchase of goods. Payments reduce the cash on hand or bank account if payment is made for cash. it is recorded on payment side. But if the payment is made through bank, it is recorded on payment side, but in bank column of cash book. While the payment is made for cash will be recorded on the payment side in cash column. Cash sales. Sales increases the cash in hand. It is recorded on the receipt side of cash column. Receipt side of cash book in cash column. Cash short. Cash short reduces the cash balance. It is recorded on payment side in cash column of cash book. Cash over. Cash over increases the cash balance. It is recorded on receipt side in cash column of the cash book. Drawings. Cash withdrawal for personal use are recorded on payment side of cash in cash column, but withdrawal from bank for personal use is recorded on payment side in bank column of cash book. Drawing reduces capital of the owner. Direct deposit by a customer. It increases the bank account. It is recorded on the receipt side in bank column of the cash book, because a customer had made a direct deposit into your account. Online payment. It shows the payment to supplier through bank directly. It reduces bank account and recorded on payment side in bank column of the cash book. Online receipts. Receivings from customers online through internet, which results increase in bank account. It is recorded on receipt side of the cash book in bank column. Part payment in cash and part payment through check. Partial payment. When payment is made partly through bank and partly in cash, it is recorded on payment side. Cash column with the amount of cash paid, and payment side in bank column with the amount of check issued. Cash and check received from customer. When cash and checks are received from customer and check is deposited into the bank on the same day, it is recorded on the receipt side, cash column, with the amount of cash received, and receipt side, bank column, with the amount of check deposited into the bank. But if the check is not deposited into the bank, the whole amount of cash and check is recorded on the receipt side in cash column of the cash book. Loan from bank. Bank granted loan to the organization. It increases the bank account because practically bank grants loan into bank account. Yeah, or bank transfer loans into your account. It is recorded on the receipt side of the cash book in bank column. Overdraft facility provided by bank. Overdrawn facility or overdraft facility. Bank offered to the organizations for the overdraft facility. It does not affect the cash on hand or cash or bank account until the facility is used by the organization. When you have used overdraft facility, you will record in bank account. And if the facility is not yet used, It is not recorded in the cash book. Payment by the owner for his private source, from his private source. When the owner paid amount for any expense or any assets for the business purpose, it does not affect the business cash. Therefore, it will not be recorded in cash book, and this is investment by the owner. For example, salaries are paid by the owner with his own cash. Journal entry for this will be salaries expense debit and capital credit. Because cash of the business is not used, owner private cash, if owner uses his private cash for any business purpose, his capital will be credited. Now, moving to the last one, transfer from online bank account to another account. Or transfer from one bank account to another bank account online. It is possible that there are more than one bank account in organization. Transfer from one account to another account is a contra entry, and it is recorded on the both sides of cash book. It is recorded on the payment side bank column from which cash is transferring, and on the receipt side bank column in which cash is transferring. It means if someone transfer cash from bank B to bank A, journal entry for this transaction will be bank A debit and bank B credit. Here is an example of cash book. The transactions in bold font are contra entries. Contra transactions will be recorded on both sides of the cash book. The transactions in italic font will be recorded on the payment side of the cash book, and transaction with normal font will be recorded on the receipt side of the cash book. Solution of this example with balancing is as under. Try to do it yourself. Okay, thank you very much. This is end of our lecture.